Right, that was rather exhausting, wasn't it? Okay, 3-all. Somehow it has finished 3-all. Liverpool fans, I'm guessing, the space of 15 minutes, you've gone from we're 2-0 up, we're going to beat Arsenal again, and then suddenly, somehow, you're 3-2 down in the space of 10 minutes. It's just that those 15 minutes must have been absolutely just horrendous as a Liverpool fan. And you know what? It was just as bad as an Arsenal fan. I was streaming at the time, playing some PUBG. Follow my Twitch, by the way, link in the description. And I saw it was 2-0 and I thought, great. Perfect. We're just shocking. We really are. But then suddenly out of nowhere, I don't want to say lucky goals, but 3 goals that maybe we wouldn't have scored on another day. I mean, that's just a bit of quality, really, isn't it? And the flick from Lacazette. I mean, okay, yeah, I should just go ahead and say it. Those 3 goals were amazing goals, but also pretty poor defending on Liverpool's part. So 3-2 up, and it's like, oh my God, we could go on and get a 4th here and win this game comfortably. But then, of course, we go ahead and throw it away, and it finishes 3-all. So if you were a neutral watching this game, you picked the right game to watch, because that was one of the best games of the season so far from a neutral's perspective. But as an Arsenal and a Liverpool fan, I think we're all quite relieved it's over, and 3-all probably was a fair result. But, you've got to look at this realistically. As an Arsenal fan especially, this is 3 goals conceded at home, which is not good enough. We've been good defensively recently. I know Monreal looks like he's picked up an injury. He was swapped out at half-time for Mustafi, who I thought had a good second half. When you concede 3 goals at home, I mean, it's not good enough, is it? But the thing is, I was saying on the stream at the time that Arsenal and Liverpool are in very similar situations, I feel, where the attack is just better than the defence. It's just there's an imbalance there. When you look at other teams, okay, let's take a look at Man City. Of course, going forward, their midfield and their attack is probably the best in the league. You could almost say the best in the world right now. They're just unstoppable. But at the back, they're solid this year. They're not conceding too many goals. They're not perfect. Don't get me wrong. They've got injuries. They've had to play Fabian Delph at left back for most of the season so far. So they're only going to get stronger, when Mendy comes back. I feel like they represent a more balanced outfit. They've got a much stronger defence than Arsenal and Liverpool, for example. And they've got the better attack, of course. But it's not like they're top heavy. That's what I'm trying to explain. Arsenal and Liverpool, I think, are top heavy. We're too unbalanced in the squad. In terms of going forward, we're much better than we are going back. And that is something that both teams need to fix, especially Arsenal. If we really want to be taken seriously and get back into the Champions League and start winning trophies consistently, I get it that we have done quite well with the FA Cup recently. I mean, that's pretty consistent. 3 in 4 years, I think it is. So it's just, I feel like if we don't invest in a centre-back in January, it's a big problem. It's a big, big problem because it's glaringly obvious that we need to reinforce. Even if it's a young player that has the potential to be a great, just having someone else, because you can clearly see that, we're having Monreal play as a centre-back this year for the first time. He looks good there. He's done quite well for us. But of course, if he's injured now, who knows how long he'll be out for. We've only got Chambers and Holding as our young players that are kind of backup. Still unsure about Chambers. I think he did well in the last game he played, but it's Chambers. I think Holding is the better player. And then we've got Koscielny, Mustafi and Mertesacker, who's obviously retiring at the end of this season. Who knows what's going to happen with Mustafi? He was supposedly leaving in the summer. And Koscielny, he's going to be 32 soon, I think. So we really do need to improve on our defence in January, or at least in the summer transfer window. I feel like letting Gabriel go was silly. He looks really good this season for Valencia. I'm not sure what happened there. Maybe he wanted to leave. I knew he had problems and struggled learning with the language and communicating with the team. So, yeah, I guess we don't know too much about that. But in general, today was a bit of a stressful game. And I said, and I tweeted before the game started, that I'm really nervous for this one because it's a huge one. Liverpool smashed us at the start of the season, and it ruined, I would say, the first month or two of the season. Just a sour taste left in the mouth after that match. I remember it right now, that especially the Salah goal where he just ran pretty much half the length of the pitch. It's just, that couldn't happen again. We could not get another big loss. And today we almost did. Being 2-0 down, we could have capitulated. We could have conceded many more. with Mane, Salah on the break, Bobby Firmino. Oxlade came on, powerful player, very quick player. It could have been so much worse, but thankfully those 10 minutes of just brilliance from Arsenal dug us out of a hole. I don't really think that Arsenal had a man of the match today. I would say that everyone was equal and average. There were moments of brilliance from Xhaka. His goal was fantastic. I think Mesut Ozil's finish as well. The flick from Lacazette, and then Mesut Ozil does something. When he scores goals like that, he doesn't strike the ball properly. Like, if my hand's the ball, he doesn't just hit it. He goes like down on it, down, and the ball goes up. He kind of just chops it, and it's fascinating. You don't really see that kind of finish very often. It seems very Mesut Ozil-esque. It's so out of the ordinary, but it works because the way his leg strikes the ball, the keeper looks confused. Mignolet was, I guess, thinking he's going to drive it near post, but instead the ball's going over him. You just think, how? Absolutely brilliant. And Mesut Ozil, you know, he's had his criticism, and I've mentioned it in the last few Operation Arsenals, I should say. At the moment, he's probably our best player. He's playing some brilliant stuff right now. He's really in form, and I'm really enjoying watching him play. And part of me hopes it's not because he wants to put himself in the shop window, because he wants to move away. Is he going to end up at Manchester United? You know, my prediction at the start of the season was Sanchez to City, Ozil to United. That's still my prediction. I think Mourinho will get Ozil excited again to play for a big club that's potentially winning trophies. I mean, there's no doubt that Man United have a stronger squad and a better potential, I would say, with a lot of younger players. You know, when you look at Arsenal's squad, our young players, they're okay. I mean, you look at Iwobi, he's got the potential to be good, but still really lacking quality. His final product is always very poor. I thought he had a very poor game today. Who else is, you know, one of the young players we've got? I mean, I guess you could say Granit Xhaka. He's still young. He is very mistake prone, but does show a lot of promise. But then you look at Manchester United with Rashford, Lukaku, Pogba. They've got so many great young players. Martial, Lingard, you know, really strong first team players that would walk into the Arsenal team. And then, you know, on Arsenal, we've got Koscielny, who's brilliant, but getting old. Petr Cech, way past it. Giroud's getting, 31 soon, I think he is. Cazorla's going to be retiring. Mertesacker's going to be retiring. Ramsey and Wilshere, I guess you could say, are kind of in their prime. And Wilshere, talking of him, I think that's 3 games he's started in a row for the first time since 2014 for Arsenal. And he's done 90 minutes in each, which is really, really good to see. So I'm hoping that he can stay fit, because he is such a creative player. We look like a better team with Jack Wilshere in there. And I saw he did like a piece on Mesut Ozil and his relationship. And he was saying how when he was younger, he noticed that when he would watch his performances back, he was always trying to get forward and run at players. And having Mesut Ozil at the club has taught him that sometimes you have to pick your timing. You have to make sure that if you're running at a player, it's a good time to do it. There's space. There's no one that's going to get a foot in, and passing the ball at the right time as well. And I think Jack Wilshere has become a better player having had Ozil next to him. Honestly, I really do. It was great that he went on loan to Bournemouth. I think that's one of the best things he's done in his career. Of course, he did pick up the injury towards the end, but he had quite a lot of minutes played there, and he was probably their best player at times. And now he seems to be slotting into this Arsenal team very nicely. It's just about keeping him fit. But what's next for Arsenal? I mean, we're almost through that Christmas period. They've got Christmas off. They've got, I think, 5 days until the next game. So that's really good. That's a blessing, because most Premier League teams have a game before or after Christmas, Christmas Eve or Boxing Day, which isn't nice. You want the players to go home and feel fresh. Have your Christmas. It's a somewhat okay result tonight. 3-3. Could have been a lot worse. Could have been better. But they're not going home to their families for Christmas off the back of a 5-0 defeat. They'll come back fresh and we go again. And we just take it game by game. I still think we're okay to make it into the top 4. You've got other teams that are somewhat struggling. Look at Tottenham, for example, this season. They're not doing the best. Chelsea have been doing really well recently, but they've had a bit of a rocky season. I think it's clear that City and United are going to be fighting. Well, I think City have won it already, but United will be in second and Chelsea probably third. Fourth is really up for grabs. And, you've got Liverpool, Tottenham, and Arsenal really going for it. I don't think Burnley will be there towards the end. And some other teams could creep into the picture, but I do think if we if we can get some good form going, like we have been able to this season, where we get on a nice run, we will recover. And I think that we will make it into the top 4. And a quick word on Liverpool. I think they're still a work in progress. I think that keeping hold of Coutinho is an absolute must, because Coutinho on the left, Mane on the right, Salah on the right, Bobby Firmino up front. You've got so many good players that you can interchange there. They are deadly. It's just the defence. They need to sort out their defence, and they will be a force. They really will. And give Karius a chance, man. Mignolet, every time I see Mignolet, I wouldn't be happy with him in goal. And I know Karius has had his wobbles, but he's a great young prospect. Give him time. Give him a couple of games in a row. Even if he makes a mistake, he will come good. Let him get some confidence. But that's going to be the end of this review, guys. I will see you next time for the next Arsenal game. And like I said at the start, I was streaming tonight. I really had a lot of fun. So if you want to follow me over on twitch.tv, it's official MGH. The link is in the description below. Please do drop a follow. Subscribe if you want to. It helps me financially, and also it gives you perks for my Twitch channel as well, which I do plan on streaming a lot more in the new year. So thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you next time.